This is the Great Legend, and I am coming at you live with DC's new 52 review of Swamp Thing, issues 1 through 12, plus 2 bonus issues, annual number 1 and issue 0 of the Swamp Thing. Really great series. I read this series not too long ago in a combination with my Animal Man series, and I'm going to kind of show you some of these covers to the Swamp Thing, issues 1 through 12, and then I'm going to show you my annual, my issue 0, and just talk about the series for a brief moment. I went into pretty good detail on Animal Man's issue 1 through 12, and I promised you I was going to do a DC's New 52 yearly review of the Swamp Thing, issues 1 through 12, because I'm hooked on these series. These remind me, these kind of pulled me in like the All-Star Western series. These are better. I think these two comics here are a little better than Action Comics. I love me some Action Comics, but I felt like these two, or Swamp Thing and Animal Man, were just really good. And I don't read a lot of like horror kind of comics. Not that like these are horror, but these are really kind of more gory, you know, than I'm used to. And, you know, believe me, I used to watch, like, scary movies like no other. So I'm cool with that, but these were just a little bit more, you know, gory. But Swamp Thing issue 1, check out that cover. Swamp Thing starts where all around the world there's different cities where things are dying, just birds are falling out of the sky. A lot of people don't know what's going on, but Superman actually pulls a little cameo in here, and he comes to this construction site where a guy by the name of Dr. Alec Holland is working. Now, as many of you old school Swamp Thing fans know, Alec Holland was one of the Swamp Things. I think he was the Swamp Thing in the 80s, maybe? The Saga of the Swamp Thing or the original Swamp Thing? I don't remember which one, or it could have been both. But Alec Holland here, he's coming at us live at the construction site, working, you know, doing what he does best, which is laying low. He doesn't want to do any more of the Swamp Thing stuff. He's actually having flashbacks of when he was the Swamp Thing, but he's not got the full memory back yet. So we get a good little introduction there. You know, once he was a great scientist, one of the best botanical scientists in the world. That's like plant doctor. You know, he's real good with plants. So this was a great issue. The art in this issue was great. This is written by the way, this is Scott Snyder on the pencil, on the writing, and Yannick Paquette. Beautiful cover. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Swamp Thing is one with the green. If you know Animal Man, he is one with the red, and if you know Swamp Thing, he's one with the green. So to the green, this is the king of the green. This is Swamp Thing. Very good. Cool cover. So you're getting the introductions, you know, in these early issues. This is Swamp Thing issue 2. Look at that cover here. That great looking cover. Colors. I mean, the colors in the books are great too. As you can see, the glare. This is Mylar, people. Only the best for the thing of the swamp. Dr. Alec Holland is in protected hands because, my friend, Dr. Alec Holland, not only do you have the green watching your back, you've also got Mylar watching your front. So he's coming at us live. Beautiful cover again. He's trying to... He knows the green is talking to him, but he's trying to avoid it. He doesn't want any part of it. He just wants to live a normal life. He doesn't want to be all leafed up and having branches and all that stuff. Swamp Thing, though. But, fans, we know that it can't all just be red and green. I know it's Christmas time, but, you know, they said in the comic books in this series that the red needs the green needs the rot needs the red. It's like a pyramid scheme, a triangle offense like Phil Jackson in his days with the Chicago Bulls and the Los Angeles Lakers. You gotta have all three to make the world go round, even though it's a triangle. Whatever, it's awesome. Great series. Great series. This one. Now, don't be fooled by the covers, fans, because he's still in human form. Dr. Alec Holland's still in human form. But this girl right here, she's, at the time, it's almost like, I wouldn't say an Armageddon, but maybe a rot Armageddon, where all these dead animals, dead things, dead, mutated, nasty, ugly creatures are attacking different, I would say, kind of rural areas, back road areas, you know. And Dr. Alec Holland is getting attacked by some of these evil, weird creatures, like you saw in Animal Man. Like the evil creatures are coming out. Blast from the past. Now, he doesn't really remember who this girl is, but a lot of us at home know who this is. This is Abigail Arcane. Can't see it because she's got her motorcycle helmet on, which is pretty awesome. Motorcycle helmet and a pretty legit motorcycle too. I like that. And it says on the cover, "Once his greatest love." So she's looking for Swamp Thing. Of course, she finds Alec Holland, which she's a little disappointed because her true love was the Swamp Thing. This issue here, during some of these earlier issues, check this out. Swamp Thing meets the face of death. During some of these early issues, Abigail Arcane actually has a younger brother. I would say probably teenage years, young teen years. And he is in a medical facility where he is quarantined, if you will, kind of like Bubble Boy. He's confined because he has some sort of disease. Something is wrong with him where if he touches a person or gets near a person, that person will just die. Of course, later we find out that he is one with the rot, whether he likes it or not. But all he wants to do is he wants to go out. He wants to experience life. But at the same time, the doctors have to keep tabs on him, you know, because if he's released, he can contaminate people, kill people. This angers him, and plus he's got things going on in his head, and he has some anger issues. And he busts out, kills a lot of people in the medical facility, and he goes on a rampage because he is part of the rot. This is Abigail's brother. He wears the gas mask, as you see, because if he gets out of the bubble himself, he'll get sick if he's outside of his bubble. So it's kind of a catch-22. He could get outside the bubble and kill people, but then he'll kill himself because he can't breathe in the dirty air, I guess. Yeah, this is issue 4. I love the cover of that. Pretty awesome. The cover still has Swamp Thing. I mean, it's still showing Swamp Thing, so it's kind of like, okay, I'm ready for Dr. Alec Holland to become Swamp Thing. This is him and Abigail Arcane. They are in the heart of the rot. This is cover 6, issue 6. In the heart of the rot, even love dies. So, another cool cover. It has Alec Holland's hand. It's kind of swampish on there. So the covers are awesome. Another thing I love about Swamp Thing is these the font for the well, I say font, but you know, the title art. I just love that. It's a throwback. It looks like the title art from the original series. It's really awesome. Scott Snyder and Marco Rudy on the art in here. So the art has changed, but the writing stays the same. You're always going to get Scott Snyder here in the Swamp Thing. Another great issue where they're really battling the rot, you know, putting an end to the rot. Now, little boy still attacking, but they end up stopping the little guy, but they don't stop all of the rot. See, this is Monsters of the Rot. So the rot contaminates animals, it contaminates everything. It's almost like, oh, and it even contaminates the humans, where it's so crazy and freakishly weird, but the humans, okay, the rot can begin. It's such a small thing. Take a little insect, a normal housefly, horsefly, will just fly around, bzz, 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 fly into the ear of a human. And I won't tell you about the time I was on my motorcycle and I had my half helmet on. This is one of the first couple of weeks I was riding. a gnat, a little gnat, flew in my ear, and it got way down in my equilibrium, and it really screwed me up. And I had to come immediately home, and I almost fell, you know, just like stumbling and fall when I put my kickstand down off my Harley. I was like, it really affects you. No lie, you know, I'm not just saying this because this is Swamp Thing. But anyways, that's another story. But my wife did get the gnat out, and I was balanced again. But yeah, so this is Monsters of the Rot. They attack Alec Holland here, mess him up pretty good, really just rip into him and take him down, dead in a ditch, if you will. So pretty cool. But he doesn't stay down too long, because he finds his way to the swamp, and guess what happens? All the green, they come together and build him up again as the Swamp Thing. I forgot to mention in one of the earlier issues, one of the old school Swamp Things, really, he's really weak because he's left the green, come to the surface, and he tried to talk to Alec Holland into, you know, coming back to the green, coming back to fight for him. He didn't want to, though. He wanted to stay human form, but by the time we get here, he's reborn. I mean, they take the man that was Alec Holland, turn him back into the champion he is, which is the Swamp Thing. Very cool. Gets a little bit of that memory back as the Swamp Thing, and he's back again. I like this cover because it kind of looks kind of hippie-ish, if you will, kind of like hippie age, to quote my good buddy Hippies Collectibles. I like that cover though, old school. Okay, issue 8, very cool. Look at all the rot that they're battling, him and Abby. Huge battles here. See how these characters, and what I was going to tell you, when these flies fly in the ear of just the humans, their heads do that exorcist thing and like twist all the way around to where their face is pointing backwards, and they become rabid and crazy. It's a great cover. He's got these, this time he has these cool like branches, and you know, his whole hand can just reach out and like create branches that stab people. Look, he stabbed that guy. So this, he puts an end to a lot of these people. But what happens is Abigail Arcane is finally consumed by the rot. You know, it gets into her mind and it consumes her. So Abigail Arcane becomes this creature. Look at that. Look at that. She becomes the queen of the rot. So at first we thought the young brother, which they defeated him and left his butt, you know, but they thought he was going to be the leader of the rot, but he wasn't. It was just a ploy to get Abigail Arcane closer to the rot, and she becomes this creature here. Look at that. Looks like she's going to bite the arm, or maybe she already bit it off, of the Swamp Thing. It says the Queen of Rot feeds. Great cover. And at the time, he's trying to get her to realize, you know, Abigail Arcane, no, this isn't you, blah 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 blah, you're not evil, da 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 da, even though she has rot in her body, in her blood, but she's good, you know. She loves Alec Holland. She loves the Swamp Thing. Now in this issue, we have the bloody return of Anton Arcane. This is Abigail's uncle. Look at him. That cover. Another beautiful cover. This was a great story. This was old Anton Arcane here. I like this down here if you look real close. It says Paquette NF 2012. It says After Wrightson right there. After Wrightson with love and admiration. So that's kind of cool because Bernie Wrightson, you know, co-creator of the Swamp Thing, you know, he drew the Swamp Thing. Another great issue here. This is the fight, Ant and Arcane and him fight. Okay, and after Swamp Thing gets Abigail back out of that weird black creature that looked like something out of Aliens, he kind of beats the mess out of Abigail. Well, actually, Anton here takes Abigail. So Swamp Thing battles back. This is the triumph of Arcane. So he's taking his niece back. That's issue 11. And then in issue 12, the cool thing about issue 12 was this is Rotworld Prologue Part 2. So you had to read Rotworld Prologue Part 1, which was in Animal Man issue 12. But as you can see, Anton doesn't hold her too long. She comes back. Swamp Thing's back. Anton's right there. So it's a great issue here. Also, it's guest starring Animal Man. Of course, you know, he was Animal Man and Swamp Thing were in Animal Man 12. What happens is at the end of this one, both forces come together. The Baker family of Animal Man, Swamp Thing and Abigail Arcane, they come together. They finally hook up together. And they are going to go down in the rot. Actually, Anton's plan is to get them into the rot, lure them in. And then he's going to seal it off where they can't get back out. But what happens is Swamp Thing creates a long branch, kind of like a lifeline to the surface. So he's got that, but Anton like closes that up at the very end, and then we're left right there. So that was our prologue to Rotworld. So in issue 13 and on, supposedly, I haven't read those, but they are in the rot, and Anton is saying stuff like, "You've been in here for a year," or something like that. Everyone's dead upstairs, blah blah blah. So I don't know. I have to get to that part, but I liked this issue here. This was the Zero issue. It was Scott Snyder, of course, writing again. Love that Zero issue. I love the Zero issues because they're all busting through the cover. Some people didn't like Zero issues. Well, I wouldn't say they didn't like them. I mean, everyone I've talked to on the Zero issues for the New 52, some people liked them, you know, but some stories weren't really good. But this was a really good origin story for Swamp Thing. Talked about him coming up with his wife, or Alec Holland's wife, and everything, and one of the rot killed her, and I mean it's just a good, it's just a great origin story. So yeah, I really liked it, and I think, yeah, oh yeah, that's the origin story. This happened, I guess, maybe when he came up with a botanical serum that was going to do wonders for plants and life and things like that. So just a good Dr. Alec Holland thing. Very cool. And this was the annual. I thought the annual was pretty good. It was called Arcane Encounter. That cover. Annuals aren't too shabby. I've been happy with the two annuals. I read this annual. I read the Action Comics annual. I've read Justice League didn't have an annual. Oh, I liked this issue. This was good. Yeah, I remember this one. Okay, he does that. Oh yeah. To be continued next week in Swamp Thing issue 14. See, this annual here. Okay, hey, when did this happen? Why is Swamp Thing huge? You're getting a sneak peek of the events in next week's Swamp Thing number 14. Trust us, it gets crazier. So I haven't read 13 yet, but in this issue, it has Poison Ivy and Deadman, and they're on the cover of issue 13. So I think this annual probably takes place after issue 13, or that's how it goes. It takes place after issue 13, but before issue 14. Of course, I haven't read issue 13. But Swamp Thing, he tells the story of how he met. He tells the story of how he met Abigail Arcane, and how he met Abigail. 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 And how he met Abiga he went to visit as a younger college, or right out of college, or during college. He visited Anton Arcane, whatever his name is, Anton Arcane, and he was going to do some work for him. But this was just a ploy for Arcane to kill Swamp Thing. And when he went to Arcane's town or whatnot, everyone was really sick and old and everything. But he met in human form. He first met, kind of had the story where he first met Abigail Arcane, the young Abigail Arcane. And you know, it was just kind of like a romance kind of story at the beginning. But near the end, of course, when Anton tries to kill him, part of the green busts through the window, swoops in and grabs him like these vines, and they grab him and they carry him off, and take him out to the backwoods where a guy saves him. So it kind of tells the story of how he has an encounter. So he has an encounter with Arcane, and almost died. I mean, Arcane almost took him out before he even became the Swamp Thing, which was good because they know, maybe from birth, the totems or whatnot, they know that this Alec Holland will be the Swamp Thing. So, fans, this has been the review, my review of issues 1 through 12 plus the 0 issue and annual of the Swamp Thing. If you have not read these, I really recommend this book, Swamp Thing and Animal Man. Currently, they're still battling it out with the rot. They're out to this earlier this month. It was issue 15. So yeah, they're still battling this rot, and a lot of my friends, they're getting tired of the whole rot storyline, and hopefully they'll finish it up, you know, and we'll see Animal Man and Swamp Thing victorious. I also want to recommend, I did recommend in my Animal Man issue 1 through 12 video, my DC's New 52 review of Animal Man, I recommended checking out 123 Comic Bro and Oddfellow's Thoughts. They're great Animal Man and Swamp Thing fans, for that matter. They like the stories pretty good. But I want to recommend two more YouTube users, two good friends of mine that are both Animal Man and Swamp Thing fans. One is Roger69501. He has an excellent video currently out, about tying the Rotworld events together. I'm going to put that video, that specific video down. I'm going to put his subscription link, or his link to his channel. And also another guy that really loves the Animal Man and Swamp Thing is Sleepy Reader 666. He is a great guy. You need to subscribe to him, as well as Roger. They're great fans of Animal Man and Swamp Thing. So definitely check those guys out. I hope you've enjoyed the DC's New 52 review of Swamp Thing, issues 1 through 12, plus the bonus, issue 0 in the annual. And come back and see us sometime when we do some more reviews here on The Great Legend Show. This is The Great Legend saying peace out and God bless.